What's going on, guys? It's your boy, your favorite YouTube airman, Aaron Martin here, coming up with a brand new video based on my last poll on my YouTube channel that I posted a few days ago. Besides the winning video, which being a video that I have already made, the second most voted option, which I believe was somewhere in the 30%, I believe, was dating in the military and my opinions on it. I have been asked numerous times by numerous people saying, hey man, this is my position, I want this person, about to leave for basic training, what should I do? Well, hopefully this will give you some options or things to consider, or at least for nothing else, you have my opinion and you can take my opinion for what it's worth to you. It could be something or nothing, you know, it's there. So the one thing I want to preface this video with before we get started is my main opinion right up front. So that way you don't have to wait till the end of the video to get my overall opinion. This is the thing. When you join, whichever member is, the man, the woman, the man, the other man, whatever your life is like, life is going to change drastically. Doesn't matter if you stay in country, if you go overseas, man, your life will change quite a bit, and so will your desires. But when you leave and you go experience the world, especially if all you know is your hometown or maybe the few states close to you, you're gonna meet people and it's going to be life-changing. That's why I've always said getting married right before you leave is a genuinely terrible idea, because chances are that person that leaves is gonna meet someone else that they really enjoy being around. Now, I'm not saying this is a definite, but it's happened quite a bit. I have seen, where I work, I've only been here for 3.5 years, mind you. I have seen quite a few divorces. I have seen quite a few relationships just fall flat when they got married right away, or they've been dating and all of a sudden the person that joined is like, sorry, I met this person and it just clicked, you know. That's all that had to happen, right? So I'm not saying this to discourage anybody, but I'm just going to be real with you guys and be honest and say, unfortunately, this is kind of how it is. This is pretty standard operating procedure with military relationships, that typically speaking, that unless you guys have been together for a certain number of years prior to joining, and even then, the historical data is not really on your side. I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's my honest opinion. But now that I've given you that unfortunately it's not on your side, I'll go into more specific instances. You're about to leave for basic training. You have a girlfriend, making it easy. And I've had people say, should we get married because I want to bring her with me? You know, I don't want to leave her behind. No. Just no. And the reason I say this is because, yes, you will not be alone, but you also inherit the responsibility of now taking care of that person and bringing them with you, taking them everywhere you go. And that can be stressful. And I personally believe that when I joined, I was dating someone, but I didn't get married, obviously. Well, now I realize that if I had tried to do all of that, well, with someone, like bringing them along with me, it would have been so stressful. Training, PCS into your first base, getting set up at your first base, and processing, on-the-job training, CDCs, upgrade training, all this nonsense just becomes that much more difficult when you inherit the responsibility of taking care of somebody else. And that is why I suggest it's not a good idea. Now, for my older people out there, I'm talking mostly to my young 20-year-olds fresh out of high schoolers. For my older people out there that have been around a while, been dating a hot minute, this isn't really for you, this specific topic. While I still suggest the same thing, my older people usually are a bit more worldly knowledge. They know what they want. They've had their fill most often than not. So I would suggest that, you know, leave it to your discretion as to what you do. But this is for my young crowd. This is for people that are around my age, likely younger, that are looking to join, have a significant other at this moment, or think that they do, or whatever your situation may or may not be, and they want to know what they should do. And my honest opinion is you should embrace this opportunity in life, this brand new thing, on your own. Or at least wait until you're in service to start dating. Because again, I knew so many guys that had girlfriends that joined. Then they started talking to some of the female airmen that we went to tech school with, and they're like, I want her. Maybe it's just because she's there presently. Maybe it's just because they were in basic training for so long and they couldn't, you know, do anything. Whatever it may or may not be. The thing is, that happens. And women, don't think you're not guilty of it. You are. I've seen it too. It goes both ways. It's not just men here who are the perpetrators. I have seen women just want to do anything that they can after basic training is over. Both parties are guilty is my point. No one's innocent here. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I believe that for all of you that are around my age, younger, go and experience life on your own. Getting married at such a young age puts a lot of responsibility on you on top of inheriting new military duties. And think of it this way. If you join, you're married, you have good pay, you have health benefits, this and the other, but you don't make it through. You don't get through tech school. You fail adjusting at your first base, or you can't do on-the-job training. You get kicked out for any variety of reasons. Medical, background checks, whatever it may or may not be, you get kicked out. You don't have the experience of being in the military to get you a job, right? So you're married, have someone to take care of, bills to pay, but no money. So you have 2 people to look after, but no paycheck. What are you gonna do? I think it's something to consider, because a lot of people don't. I have seen it happen before where people get married and all of a sudden getting kicked out and they're stressing, I don't have a job, I don't know what to do. We've been accustomed to living to this standard. What am I gonna do now? I don't have the experience, or I haven't been in this job long enough to get a job like this on the outside, right? Because some of them, maybe they've been in for 2 to 3 years, that's all they have to their name. So when they get out and they don't have the experience to get a job, they can't get the pay that they're used to, they're SOL, basically, is the best way to put it. What are you gonna do? I know I'm speaking very pessimistically here, and I know a lot of my younger audience are gonna say, no, I know this is the person I want, I know I'm in love. Just take what I'm saying into consideration. Please just go out and experience life. I'm not saying dump your boyfriend or girlfriend, go to basic training. I'm just saying it's fine to date them, just don't rush into marriage, I think is the best thing that I'm gonna say to you. Marriage immediately before service to just solve loneliness just creates a whole plethora of more problems that you are not inherently prepared for, that no one's really prepared for. But when you have to take on those issues and then new military duties, it's a whole lot mentally to handle, and a lot of people can't adjust that well, or they never do. And those relationships end up failing more often than not. The amount of young airmen that are younger than me that have been divorced at least once, it's pretty concerning for me to see. And I work in a fairly small workplace. Like, my squadron is not that big. So when I say I've seen a fair amount of young airmen divorced in a squadron that's maybe only 100, maybe less people, which isn't big at all realistically, that should tell you quite a bit about what happens pretty normally in service, right? So again, I understand that people are going to have their opinions on what I'm saying. They're going to think that they know, but just take what I'm saying into consideration, and the fact that history isn't exactly on your side, and that not everyone is ready for long distance. Think of the situations where you want to bring that person with you, and maybe you're married, but you're going somewhere where she can't be with you or he can't be with you. You guys can't go together. You're separated for at a minimum 6 months to a year. There's a reason those Jody memes exist for a reason. I'm not saying people cheat regularly, but there's a reason it's a stereotype. There's a very good reason for that. I know I'm bringing up a lot of reasons to be concerned. I'm not saying date someone in service. You might find someone, a civilian, just where you happen to be living at that time. But at the same time, there's just a lot you have to adjust to and a lot you have to consider that a lot of people just do not do. And I think that's very, unfortunately, ignorant of them to do that. You're not considering all the options. Now, me, being the person who analyzes every step and then never takes one more often than not, makes me kind of hypocritical in this situation, but I know a fair amount about this topic, and I'm going to share it with you. So please consider these things. Situations where A, your life is changing, and B, you may not be together, married or not. And a lot of people can't handle separation, they can't handle loneliness, and you might find out that person's not what you thought they were. And this isn't me speaking for personal experience. Like, in that aspect, no one's done that to me personally, but I've seen a lot of good people that I know get torn down by stuff like that, all because they couldn't be around. Service isn't easy. Being deployed isn't easy. There's a reason for that, and not everyone can handle it. And no one wants to come home and find out that the person they love has been with somebody else. And there's nothing worse than that. Please take these things into consideration when enlisting, when deployed. You know, maybe even now you're in thinking about getting married, you've only been in for a year or two. The benefits, the incentivision of getting married isn't worth what it puts on you. Yes, you get paid more. Yes, they can live with you. Yes, you can move out of the dorms. All these things that I wish the military didn't incentivize to getting married, because if they did, the marriage rates wouldn't be so excessively high. But anyways, they're not worth what you have to do post that. It's just not. Making that rash decision at a young age, I just personally can't agree with it. But, you know, that's me. Take my opinion for what it is. You know, I'm not here to tell y'all what to do, just going off what I normally see, right? And I think that's really all I got for this video today. Also, there's a few things I want to run by you guys real quick. My Patreon is fully up and running. I have done a lot of upgrades to it, giving you guys more bang for your buck. as they say with Patreon, I've given you Discord rules. I'm gonna be doing shout outs in this video for Patreon sponsors later today, so you'll get one for a certain amount of money, things like that. I've done a massive rehaul to try and give you guys as much as you should earn for your money. So, and if for any reason you're a Patreon sponsor and you don't get the rewards for what you're owed, please let me know as soon as possible and I will fix it. I have also I've been streaming more on YouTube lately, been doing my podcasts on Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, every single Saturday. We are on our 4th episode this week. We'll be doing it more and more every week, bring on special guests. If you want to be a guest, reach out to me on my social media. We usually have topics ironed out by Thursday, Friday night, so we will let you know. And if you want to be a part of it, just inquire within, as they say. And finally, be sure to follow me on Twitch when I stream more regularly there on Friday nights when I do games, things like that. And make sure you follow all my other social medias, links below, as well as my merchandise store, which has been re-updated as well. And I think that's all I have for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I also want to give a huge shout out to my friend Golden for becoming my first Patreon sponsor. Your support always helps, and as always, if you guys want to become a Patreon sponsor, you can find the link down in the description below. You'll receive a mention in all of my end video credits. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.